'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads.
The bats came alive as the weather got hot, and they continued to battle from the league's top spot. We keep finding presents under our off-season tree. First it was Halliday, then it was Lee. It's Christmas in July, and it's no time to sleep as the Phillies prepare to tie the bow on a San Diego sweep. This past December was a merry Cliffmas as the Phillies re-signed their left-hander Cliff Lee, and today he'll take the baseball on Christmas in July here at Citizens Bank Park as the Phillies look for the series sweep over the San Diego Padres and their 11th consecutive win against the Pods. They begin play today, 6 games up in the National League East. That's because the Braves last night lost on a walk-off by Drew Stubbs of the Cincinnati Reds. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Gary Matthews. Wheels will be around in just a little bit. Well, the last handful of years, all year long, has felt like Christmas for the Phillies and their fans. And obviously, the Phillies have had a lot of success and a lot of gifts to their fans. Well, today on Christmas in July, we look back on some of the success the Phillies have had here at this ballpark on this date.
Yeah, Tom, it does. It starts right on the top of the hill there with the pitching. However, you got to have some offense there. Take a look at some offense in 0-4 there. That's a game-winning knock by Pat Burrell in the 9th inning there. Those are always good as he waves goodbye. Didn't know he's going goodbye for a long time. And here in the 14th, a 2-run shot by the big piece, Ryan Howard, as he delivers there in the clutch. That's always great when you see him jumping there, Tom.
Well, and Sarge, Jimmy Rollins loves the spotlight. He loves when big eyes are on him, and this is 2009. This is a grand slam in a game in which the Phillies scored 14 runs against the St. Louis Cardinals on Christmas in July. Last year, well, Rollins was a little frisky off the third base bag. Rafael Betancourt uncorks the wild pitch and then forgets to cover home. So Rollins scores what turns out to be the game winner for the Phillies. They win it over the Colorado Rockies. And now we look to this stretch the Phillies have been on here in 2011. They have been smoking hot.
Well, when you look at those 28 games over 500, you really got to like that there. How about those series wins? You like that. That's how you win championships. That's how you get into the World Series, Tom, by doing just that.
And getting some great contributions from guys like Michael Martinez, who will start again over at third base, and Carlos Ruiz quietly has put together a 10-game hit streak. So the Phillies will go for the 4-game series sweep this afternoon against the San Diego Padres. Cliff Lee, his 21st start. Aaron Harang has pitched well for the Padres. He's getting set for his 17th start of the year. Well, the Phillies fans have certainly bought into everything the club has to offer, including Christmas in July, the lineups and first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball. begin all that well. It's been a totally different story here in the second half this year. They've won 7 of the first 9 games, including 3 straight this weekend against the San Diego Padres, and now an oddity, what they call a wraparound series, which is a 4-game series that starts at the beginning of the weekend and ends on a Monday. Let's take a look at the Padres starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off in center field, Chris Denorfia. Jason Bartlett, the shortstop, bats second. Chase Headley hits third, followed by Ryan Ludwig and Kyle Blanks. Jesus Guzman's over at first base. He'll bat sixth. Orlando Hudson makes his first start of the series at second base. He'll hit seventh. Rob Johnson bats eighth, and batting ninth and pitching is Aaron Harang. And they'll face Phillies left-hander Clint Lee, who has back-to-back no decisions. But Wills hasn't given up a whole lot during those 2 ball games.
Right, Tommy, off a real good start in Chicago last week. They just had a hit for him in the 7th inning. They turned out winning. They wound up winning that ball game too, but they had a hit for him because they were behind and trying to rally, and they eventually did. Here's our Southwest Airlines scouting report on Cliff. Not that many outings against the San Diego Padres, and like Roy Halladay, a pitcher who throws a lot of strikes, and hitters do swing at him early, and that's what was happening with Halladay here yesterday.
Chris Denorfia will dig in and lead things off for the Padres. He's playing center field today for the injured Cameron Maben, who has a hip flexor injury. He injured himself in yesterday's game, and Denorfia came on and made an incredible running catch out in center field. And the first pitch of the ball game taken low, so we're underway, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, and as you said at the time, Tom, that was really nice the way the fans reacted to that too.
Denorfia 1 for 8 in the series, and he grounds one to shortstop, chopped right to Rollins, who hurries the throw in time for the first out.
And that means it is now time for the Nissan keys to this afternoon's game. A little bit overcast, and you know, they don't mind that, as hot as it is. Well, the Phillies want to stay as hot as the weather and go for this 4-game wraparound sweep. And the offense, it's been a little bit alive lately, and they want to keep going that way and swing the bats and try and make it a little bit easier on the pitchers. Raul Ibanez is one of those guys who had a hot day offensively yesterday.
Well, here in the month of July, the Phillies offense has scored 102 runs. They've averaged just under 6 runs per game here in July. And the staff, well, they've continued to pitch well. But guys like Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins especially, you know, those guys have been driving in runs. Rollins has been smoking hot.
And Utley, too. He has really picked it up and is hitting the ball hard to the alleys. And Michael Martinez, what can you say about him, the way he's been knocking in runs?
0-2 the count to Jason Bartlett, who did not start yesterday. Bartlett is riding a 5-game hitting streak. And he stays alive, fouls that one off. Well, here are the numbers for July. Earned run average 3.60. Overall, that's 5th. But look at everything else. Batting average 1st, runs per game 1st, extra base hits among the top 5, home runs 7th. This is more like it for the Phillies offense. Again, the 0-2. On the outside corner. That's a cutter and a call. Strike 3. Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah, Bartlett took a long look at it. It's a good sign. He's right there with his pitches early, and also that he got that call from the home plate umpire, Rob Drake, because, you know, Lee is going to live out there. Now, whether it was a strike or not, probably your guy wouldn't want that called, you know, if it's your hitter. But in the Phillies case, boy, if Lee can get that pitch, look out.
So Bud Black hopes that if Rob Drake's going to call that pitch, that he'll establish it early and keep it all the way through as Headley takes a strike. It's 0-1. Headley's got good numbers against left-handers. He's hitting .337 against them. Overall in this series, 2 for 12. Swing and a miss. He was late on that pitch, and it's 0-2.
Boy, Lee is painting right now. Just a little bit off the plate inside, off the plate outside, getting called strikes, swinging strikes. Remember the game in Chicago the other day? He didn't have a swinging strike to the 10th hitter that he faced until he settled down.
And he struggled in the first inning or 2 of that ball game. He threw 48 pitches in the first 2 innings.
Right, and they just wouldn't swing and miss at him in that game. And then all of a sudden they started swing and miss a lot at him.
Oh, he's ahead of Headley, 1-2, and the pitch. Ground ball foul. Well, the conditions are considerably better here today, temperature-wise. It's cloudy, temperature in the mid-80s to start the day. The fans are still being used. But the cloud cover also helps a little bit. A little cold front came through overnight. There are some thunderstorms in the area. And Headley fouls another one off, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Headley's been the National League's hottest hitter since the second week of June. In fact, since the 13th, he's hitting .356, and that leads all National League hitters. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Ludwig, who's over in right field today for the Padres, he's on deck. Two and two the count to Headley. Must have been a little low. It's 3-2.
Yeah, that was probably a little bit too far outside too. If he'd have rung him up on that, would have thought Frank Pulley was back in town.
So Headley's fought back. It's 3-2. Ground ball back toward the middle. That'll sneak into center field, a base hit. So the first hit of the day is a ground single by Chase Headley. And he had a pretty good at bat right there with 2 outs. And that'll bring Ryan Ludwig to the plate. Ludwig has 4 at-bats against Lee during his career. He's 1 for 4 against him. Not too many guys have a bushel of at-bats against Lee. The only one is Jason Bartlett, who has 19 for his career. So Wheels was saying he hasn't had a lot of appearances against the Padres. And a base hit for Ludwig the opposite way. So back-to-back singles, and there are 2 on with 2 outs. Talk about a guy that swings early and often.
Oh yeah, he looks for a fastball early in the count, does Ludwig. And Phillies have thrown him a lot of off-speed stuff in this weekend series and have been able to contain him.
So still 1 out. Runners on first and second.
This is the 3rd straight year the Padres have had one of these here too. As you mentioned, Tom, they're not the norm, and yet they've been here 3 straight years and had one of these.
I guess whoever makes the schedule looks at it from time to time and says, well, we'll just keep this team in the same kind of spot.
No, yeah, it's hard to figure. And you talk to people around their club, and they say, hey, this is a great place to spend 4 days, but they're ready to go home because they're going to San Diego this afternoon.
Kyle Blank's the hitter. He's 2 for 9 of the series, and he takes on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike.
This was on its way to be a nice quick inning for Cliff Lee, and then Headley gave him a heck of an at bat.
And Aaron Harang has had to sit and wait a little longer than he probably anticipated, but he'll take it if they can get a run or 2. Again, that one. Well, that was inside. It's 2-1. I was going to say again, that one's on the inside part of the plate, but Blanks took it for ball 2.
Yeah, it's a good spot. I mean, Lee lives in these areas. It's not a strike, but it's close.
19th pitch of the inning for Lee. And a changeup low, 3-1. Rob Drake's the whole plate umpire this afternoon. All 4 umpires have gotten a chance to be behind the plate in this series. Philadelphia native Alan Porter at 3rd, Bruce Streckman at 2nd, and Gary Darling at 1st. The runners lead off, 3 balls and 1 strike, and a ground ball left side. Rollins backhands, has to hurry the throw, and does in time to get Blanks. And the side is retired. Blanks looks like he may have spun his wheels a little bit. Padres lead 2. We go to the bottom of the 1st. It's the Padres nothing and the Phillies coming up. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Michael Martinez bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Shane Victorino. Raul Ibanez is back in the sixth hole. Dominic Brown is in right field batting seventh. Ruiz hits eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is Cliff Lee. And they'll face 6'7", 33-year-old right-hander Aaron Harang, the San Diego native.
Yeah, he's really gotten hit around with Cincinnati the last few years, but you know, he's doing a much better job with the Padres, especially since coming off the disabled list.
Jimmy Rollins leads it off and takes outside.
First saw him with Oakland. He had a really heavy sinker. As you look at the Southwest Airlines scouting report, he seemed to lose that with the Reds, but he's evidently throwing a very good curveball. Now you see the Phillies have good numbers against him, and there he just dropped the hook on him. But at one time, Harang had tremendous stuff down. I don't know whether that ballpark in Cincinnati got to him or what, but he was a different guy for a few years.
Rollins 9 for 34 against him during his career. He throws another breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's the thing you're not used to from Aaron Harang, and they're going to have to figure out is curveballs, because evidently he's using that pitch very effectively. He used to come at you with heavy stuff, sinker, slider, changeup.
Rollins slaps it foul. Well, he's a big guy, and you'd expect him to throw harder than he does. That fastball was at 88. He's 6'7", 261 pounds. And as we said, he's a San Diego native out of San Diego State. 2-2.
Another one. Another curveball. So 3 curveballs already to Jimmy Rollins, although yesterday he got a lot of them from Stauffer.
So he's third among National League pitchers in winning percentage. Rollins out in front, a pop up on the left side. Chase Headley, the third baseman, is there and makes the catch, 1 away. So 1 out. That brings Michael Martinez to the plate. Wheels mentioned that Harang was on the disabled list earlier this year. He had a contusion on his right foot. As we said, he's not a small guy, so I would think any kind of imperfection on that foot would bother you.
Yeah, you think he has pretty big feet.
Michael Martinez lifts one to left, blanks over toward the line, 2 outs.
Showing that off-speed stuff early. In Michael Martinez's case, he had a fastball, but as Tom mentioned, he doesn't throw all that hard. He's not a guy that's going to overpower you, but he's going to try and sink the ball, spot it with his sinker, and then use these breaking balls effectively.
Well, 2 outs now for Chase Utley. His average is up to 282 with 6 home runs and 26 runs batted in. He's homered twice in this series, and overall has very good numbers against the Padres for his career. And he takes low, 1-0. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Dan Dickerson of Dover, Delaware. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, Daniel will win $300.
Probably one of the Phillies players has good numbers against this guy. And you see what Chase Utley's, it's just amazing. You run up those numbers of 2-0 and then you go to 0-2. It's so important to get ahead in the count if you're a hitter.
Well, now he's ahead 3 balls and no strikes, and the way he's been swinging, he might get the green light here, but we'll see. He's very disciplined because he knows who's on deck.
Right. Charlie will trust him with a 3-0 count. Charlie would trust Chase Utley with anything. What does he gush over this guy?
Ball 4, and Utley's aboard with a 2-out walk. 33rd walk issued by Harang this year in 99 innings of work. Yeah, that will bring Howard to the plate.
Talked to Charlie Manuel in his pregame radio show today about Howard's at bats yesterday. Tom, you know, we were speculating that he did drive those balls, and he said, yeah, he said he really waited well. He got him back in the zone, and they weren't late swings necessarily. He felt that he really hit them hard, and it was a good sign.
Well, he's had a hit in the last 2 games, including the pinch hit home run on Saturday, and he's going to get a buffet of breaking pitches as he takes one for a strike. It's 0-1. Howard overall with 75 runs batted in. That leads the National League.
That's one of the most effective pitchers a pitcher can ever throw, is a curveball on the first pitch. It's almost like a get 'em over breaking ball, and they're hardly ever going to swing at it. Rudolph, huh?
How did he draw the short straw? Get Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
I know he's good-natured, I guess, so they figured he won't say anything.
That's a big old reindeer.
That's a big reindeer. That's the lead. That's the lead reindeer.
Well, I guess that's why.
That's Rudolph.
They were still laughing in the clubhouse about the 80s retro pictures that were up on the board.
Those are good.
2-1 the count. Utley thought about going and he stopped. It's 3-1.
Well, he's getting curveballs and changeups. He's had one fastball so far. And Harang is making it very clear that he is going to pitch backwards all day to these hitters.
Saw the numbers before. Howard has Harang in his book 3 times in his career. Won the count. There goes Utley. And the pitch lined toward left field. Another opposite field hit. And Utley's going to go to third. Headley was playing off the bag. And Utley figured, you know what? I got a good start. I'm going to take a chance. And he got there easily.
Yeah, because as you said, he was running. And it's another good swing by Ryan Howard. And, you know, after talking to Charlie again this morning, it's just so obvious these are not late swings he's taking. He's really hanging in there and dropping the head on it and hitting it the other way. And a lot of good things can happen for Ryan Howard if he can keep this up. It's just a matter of, you know, seeing the ball and being able to wait a little longer.
Well, the other thing, too, is that they may change the shift a little bit on the right side and give him more opportunities to get some hits if he pulls the ball. First and third for Victorino. 3 for 9 in the series. And 5 for 19 overall against Harang in his career. And a breaking ball low. 1 ball and no strikes.
What the Phillies did yesterday. They had a couple of had 2 outs, and all of a sudden they threw some runs up on the board. Trying to do it again.
Victorino, a home run and a triple away from another quadruple double. Double digits in home runs, doubles, triples, and stolen bases for the season. And he takes one at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And they've gotten his fastball there. You wouldn't expect him to get a whole lot of fastballs from Harang, and there was one.
In the dirt, blocked by Rob Johnson.
Harang throwing so many of these curveballs, and of course the key is to try and throw it down. And Chase Utley very good at getting a walking lead off third base, and if one of those could bounce away far enough, he'll score.
Howard not a threat to run off first, a very short lead. The 2-1 to Victorino. In the air to right field. Backing up on it is Ludwig. Back to the warning track, to the wall. It's off the wall. Utley will score. Howard's being waved home. Ludwig had trouble with the ball. Hudson's throw to the plate on 1 hop in. Plenty of time. And Howard is out trying to score from first. But the Phillies do take the lead on what will be scored an RBI double for Shane Victorino. It brings home Chase Utley. The Phillies leave 1. We go to the second. And they're on top 1-0. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Sam Perlazzo chatting with Juan Samuel. Juan Samuel took a chance and sent Ryan Howard from first.
You know, we think, you and I are talking between innings, and we'll see if we can tell. But
Guzman sends the first pitch toward the alleyway in right center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. And he's going to be aboard with a leadoff double here in the second.
Another guy swinging early, Cliff Lee. It looked like that ball came back into Ludwig's body out there, and he may have lost it. Now, doesn't it? I think it lands right at his feet after it comes off the wall. See, he leaps. It comes right back, and he traps it right there, and now it's right at his feet. And I think Juan Samuel thought that ball had gotten further away from him. Hudson got it in plenty of time, one hop throw to the plate, and Howard had just barely gotten to third, and he was going to be a dead duck. I think you talk to Juan Samuel later, and he's going to say he thought that ball went further away from Ludwig than it did.
Well, that'll bring Orlando Hudson to the plate with the runner in scoring position. Hudson hitting .239, grounds one to the right side. That'll move the runner over to third. And it'll be 4-3 on the putout, one away.
It's a nice job by a veteran player. Give himself up. Intentionally tried to hit that ball to the right side. He claps there a little bit because he knows he did the job, and then certainly get a nice reaction in his dugout.
Lee now will face Rob Johnson, who's hitting just .194. Johnson's 1 for 6 of this series. The Phillies pitchers have gotten him three times on strikes.
They'll play the infield back with the exception of Ryan Howard near the bag or even with the bag and concede a run here.
And a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1.
Not like you pitch around him or walking because the pitcher's on deck, and you always think in this situation you have to deal with the leadoff guy because there's only one out. You can't say, oh, well, no, the pitcher hit it with a double play. Well, no, it doesn't work that way.
Up high, 1-1. However, if you're Lee, you're thinking, I might be able to get through this inning. I got the 8-hitter who's hitting .194, and then the pitcher who's hitting .156.
Yeah, you know, if you can get a strikeout or a pop up here, he can get out of the inning. But if he makes contact, they're going to get a run.
Tried to check. They appeal. No swing, says the first base umpire, Gary Darling. And it's 2-1. Guzman, who led off the inning with a double, is over third now. And a breaking ball. Must have been a little high. And it's 3-1.
I'll be interested to see if what Lee wants to do here, whether or not he's going to go after him or try and nibble and see if he'll get himself out.
Line drive toward right field. That's going to go off the glove of Dominic Brown and roll toward the alley. Scoring easily from third is Guzman. Johnson slides into second. That'll wind up being an RBI double, and we're tied up at 1 apiece. 11th RBI of the year for Rob Johnson.
Well, he threw him a fastball. Looked like he was trying to get it in and didn't. It was out over the plate. Johnson hit it hard. Dominic Brown leaves his feet there, and well, that ball was catchable.
Yeah, it was.
No one off the heel of the glove, it looks like.
He made every effort to try to come up with it. But instead, it's an RBI double, and it's a 1-1 ball game. And here's Harang. And he squares and bunts it foul.
Makes no sense to bunt there.
No, we saw it the other day, though, in Chicago with Garza.
Just, I don't know.
I guess they feel like he has no chance. They look at Bud Black like, what is he doing?
Yeah, you always have a chance. You know, you make contact. Yeah, I mean, it's just, like I said, it makes no sense. I think Bud Black agreed.
Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
As a pitcher, too, who would be up there with a bat once in a while, even though he's an American League guy for the most part. He knows that, you know, he could dunk one in somewhere, but if you bunt, what good's that do with one out?
And a called strike 3. Harang's down looking. Second strikeout for Lee. 2 outs as we go back to the top of the order for DeNorfia.
And when you say a bunt, you know, you're not going to get a pitcher up there surprising you with bunting for a base hit.
No, not somebody that size.
Yeah, you know, I know people might say, well, what do you mean? Well, you're sure you bunt for a hit? Well, no, he's not going to bunt for a hit there. Because he can't. That's not what those guys do.
Denorfia grounded as short his first time up. He's 0 for 1. It's a 1-1 game. Padres already with 4 hits. Cameron Maybin not playing today. Injured himself during yesterday's game. Gave way to Denorfia, who made a spectacular catch off a ball hit by Raul Ibanez that, for all intents and purposes, was a home run. He just shattered his bat. Top of the bat and stick it into the grass next to the mound.
Just shows you how dangerous that can be. Well, it's funny when you see it like that. But boy, when those babies go whistling in the stands, they're scary. Here's the bat go, hits it right on the end, and watch it just impale. Oh, it bounced once and then went into the grass.
Yeah, the edge even cracked again. Up high, 1-2.
That bat had some Easter Bunny to it.
No swing, says Gary Darling. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Denorfia stays alive, fouls it back. You saw Lee shake Ruiz off a couple times on that last request. He had something on his mind. It was a high fastball.
Tough to strike out.
258 average in that category. And a breaking ball, nubbed foul.
Yeah, this is not an easy inning for Cliff Lee. In the first inning, he had to labor a little bit too. Pitch total starting to run up, but that happened to him the other night, and he settled down in Chicago.
Breaking ball, and he hasn't gotten total control of that just yet. So it's 3-2. So a couple of them that just have hung high as Jason Bartlett waits on deck.
Right, and that's a good pitch for him too, Tom, as you say. You know, because he surprises hitters with that a lot of times, and it turns into a strikeout pitch for him.
Toward the hole, that'll be a base hit into left field. Around third, heading for home is Johnson. Ibanez's throw, nobody's there to cut it off. Skips to the plate, and that enables the hitter Denorfia to pull into second. It's an RBI single. He goes to second on the throw, and it's 2-1 San Diego. Not sure if Michael Martinez forgot to go and cut off, be the cutoff man, or if they just decided that was going to be a throw to the plate. It's kind of odd that there was nobody there.
Yeah, because that's what happens. You set up a cutoff there, and then you decide whether to let it go through or not. If it's online, and you have a chance. And Martinez just had a brain cramp there. He should be in that cutoff zone, and there's nobody here. So the throw's going to go all the way through, and very good base running by Denorfia to see that.
And now he's trying to steal third, and Ruiz can't get the throw there in time. As Denorfia got the hand in, according to the third base umpire, Alan Porter, ahead of the tag by Michael Martinez.
Well, you know, you steal third base with 2 outs, and it's that close. Well, you better make it. And according to Alan Porter, he makes it. It's a strong throw by Ruiz. Tagged down. We can't tell there. Here's a good look. Good call. He's safe.
Yeah, just by a hair. Bartlett takes inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Not real good playing so far in this inning on the ball to right field, and then not cutting the ball off from left field, and it's cost the Phillies. It's cost Lee some extra pitches.
Yeah, he's had 4 3-ball counts so far in the first couple of innings. It's kind of the same pace he had in his last start against the Cubs. Low, ball 3. So 3-1 to Bartlett.
Well, he threw that 2-2 breaking ball that missed to Denorfia. And a lot of times you get in a situation that we come in with a fastball after that, and the base hit followed.
Outside, and Bartlett's aboard. First walk issued by Lee. And that'll bring Headley to the plate with first and third and 2 outs.
They got to be careful now because Bartlett will run, and they might try to steal a run on a double steal here.
We'll take a look at our Mazda League leaders. Well, the Phillies and the Padres are second and third in the National League in earned run average. And we have 3 runs so far, and the Padres are threatening again here in the second.
How about where all those teams are, too? Except for the Padres. They are right there at the top of their divisions, are threatening. And the Padres, the only team with a really good earned run average that's not having a good year.
On the inside corner, a strike to Headley.
Phillies have already decided what they're going to do if Bartlett goes, and it almost looks like they're going to just let him go because you see how far back Rollins and Utley are.
And they're trying to crowd Headley, who has a single already today. He singled up the middle with 2 outs in the first. And a throw over to first, and here comes Denorfia to the plate, and he is safe at the plate.
See, he was taking a big lead off third base, and he was looking for that. That was really a good play by Denorfia. I watched him the pitch before that, and I was going to say something, how far off down the line he was. And when Lee threw that little lob throw over to first, he just broke. Watch, see him take a walking lead. He sees that. A lob toss to first. Tremendous base running by Denorfia.
So a stolen base of home. He has 2 steals in the game. Headley drills one to straightaway center. Victorino going back. It's over his head. And a hop off the wall. A run's going to score as Bartlett will cruise home. It's an RBI double for Headley. And the Padres have scored 4 runs here in the second.
Yeah, they're just ambushing them right now. I mean, the Phillies are really flat, playing bad baseball in this inning, and Cliff Lee struggling a little bit, and the San Diego Padres are definitely taking advantage of all this.
Rich Doobie heading out to the mound. So Headley's 2 for 2. That RBI is 35th of the year. So everybody joining Cliff Lee and Rich Doobie on the mound except for Jimmy Rollins. This is 6 hits now in the first inning and 2/3 for the Padres. This will be the 8th man to come to the plate in the inning. Ryan Ludwig singled his first time up.
These 4-game series, which they can be very difficult to win, and you know, you think, you just swept them 3 games. You got to come out and bear down on a day like this. And right now they're sloppy. Long way to go.
And Ludwig takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, what they've been able to do is keep Adams and Bell out of the games this weekend, and that's been huge. And you know, if they have a lead late, then those 2 guys come in and they're a much bigger factor.
Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's really off on his spots in this inning. He was hitting his spots early in the game, and this inning he's not.
Well, he's ahead 1-2 to Ludwig. See, 29 pitches in this inning alone. He had 20 in the first inning.
Right.
So he's up to 49. But again, this is where he was against the Cubs. He had 48 through 2.
Right. But he hadn't given up 4 runs. He had limited that to just 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Padres have scored 4 runs on 4 hits. And a ground ball to third, backing up on it Martinez, and he throws across the diamond in time. And the inning does come to a close. But the Padres score 4 times against Cliff Lee. They leave 1 in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the second. It's the Padres who are aggressive, leading it 4-1. right from the palm of your hand. Your teams right now, free. Download CSN Phillies Sports app for your iPhone now. That comes in handy during the course of any season, particularly right now with the baseball season the way it is and the way the Phillies have been increasing their lead in the East, plus the lockout ending in the National Football League, the pending strike with the NBA. There's a lot going on in the world of sports. We go to the bottom of the second. Raul Ibanez leads it off. Ibanez, 13 homers, 50 runs batted in. Up until yesterday, he had really struggled against the Padres this year. A team that he's faced a lot because the Mariners used to see them all the time in interleague play. And he lines one down the right field line. That's a foul ball. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. How about the last couple of days for Kristen Northfield?
Yeah, he's really done a good job, and he wasn't even supposed to play in these games with Maben. That's an amazing catch he made yesterday, and today did a really good job of running the bases. I think how close he was to being out at third, trying to steal third with 2 outs. So it turned out he was safe, and then he stole home on that throw over to first and kept the inning going, and they had a big inning.
I asked Shane Victorino, who obviously plays center field more than anybody here at this ballpark, I said, what'd you think of that play? And he said, oh, it was unbelievable. Just because of the way he had to go back, and he wasn't at the spot when he went over the wall to make the catch.
Oh no, he was at the end of a full sprint and leaped and caught it. It was just a tremendous play. People comparing it to that situation with Aaron Rowan, and it was in a way because it was out in that same area.
I said to Victorino too, I said, plus he made a really good throw over at first, and he looked at me and said, he wouldn't have gotten me. Dominic Brown, the batter, with 1 out. Brown hits one off the end of the bat down the left field line into foul territory. Headley makes a nice running play. 2 outs.
Well, he's facing a hot pitcher here today. You know, they give him a little bit of a second life, not scoring more in the first inning, and then they came back and got 4. This is a really tough play to make this way. Usually they'll see them make a basket catch, but in this case he was still running after it as it was starting to come back, and Headley reaches out and makes a play. Real good job.
See Harang's numbers his last 8 starts. 10 earned runs, 11 counting today, and 53 2/3 innings.
Yeah, they got to chip away at him a little bit and you know, make him work. Still warm here today.
0-1 the count to Ruiz. Outside. That's a little more traditional here on Christmas in July.
Santa Carlos.
Carlos has hit it 10 consecutive games to raise his average to 267. Ground ball toward shortstop. Bartlett around the bag. Takes care of Ruiz, and it's a 1-2-3 second inning for Aaron Harang. We've completed 2. We go on to the 3rd with the Padres up 4-1. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, here's the question. It's a quick one. Name the only Padre to win the National League MVP award. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Now, the Padres, who have lost 10 straight to the Phillies, lead this one 4-1 as we go to the top of the 3rd. 4 runs on 6 hits so far for San Diego. Cliff Lee, who had been strong in the 2nd innings of games this year, his earned run average was 1.35. Well, in today's 2nd inning, he allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. So he's going to try to do what he did the other day against the Cubs, and that's kind of settle in here as we go to the 3rd.
Cliff Lee has these kind of innings. He does give up crooked numbers, and it happens fast. Now, that one didn't happen real fast because they had to earn it in a lot of ways and take advantage of some just plain sloppy baseball.
Kyle Blanks grounded to Rollins toward the hole his first time up. Lays off a breaking ball and takes it for a strike. It's 0-2.
As you say, Tom, he's perfectly capable now of settling down and not giving up anything else. And then you start to try and chip away at Aaron Orang a little bit.
Another breaking ball swung on it, missed, and Blanks is the 3rd strikeout victim of the day for Lee. This Sunday, when the Phillies wrap up the homestand against the Pittsburgh Pirates, prior to the game, there'll be a Fans Feeding Families tent event. It's an exclusive pregame party from 11:30 until 1:30. Plus, you also get tickets to the game. You get a Fans Feeding Families pin that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Now, the cost for this is $125, 75 of which will go toward Phil Abundance. Go to Phillies.com/feedingfamilies for more details. Roy Halladay won yesterday, became a 12-game winner, joining Cole Hamels and Jair Jurgens for the most wins in the National League. As Guzman takes strike 1, it's 1-1.
The guy got it all started last inning. The double to right center field.
On the, off the inside corner.
And so far, he's been a little bit more expanding away to the right-handed hitter than using the inside part of the plate or off the plate inside.
Ground ball toward the middle. Utley to his right. Throws out Guzman for the 2nd out. Well, the Atlanta Braves will start a 4-game series tonight against the Pirates. James McDonald against Tim Hudson this evening. Phillies will say goodbye to the Padres and host the Giants beginning tomorrow. Looking at the National League Central, how about that? Talk about a logjam. 3 different teams sit atop the standings, each with different win totals. And the Reds are only 3 games back.
The Pirates with a slightly higher winning percentage.
Just a hair.
Yeah.
Pirates are at .525 with the Cardinals, but 1 percentage point ahead of the Brewers. Orlando Hudson, the hitter, and a breaking ball. He rips through the hole on the left side. A 2-out single. Oh, and let the chatting begin.
Oh, yeah. That's Hudson. We haven't seen him this weekend. Got in the game yesterday. And, of course, starting here today, he really had a nasty collision with a wall in Florida the other day.
Rob Johnson had an RBI double his first time up. He takes inside 1-0. Think about Orlando Hudson over at first. Let's say if Brandon Phillips was over there playing first.
Oh my. There'd be no game going on for those two.
It's kind of like they used to say with Sean Casey or Jim Thome over at first base.
It's good for everybody that those two play second, Hudson and Phillips, and not that they're not first basemen.
Low ball 2-1.
Both really good players too. Phillips has more ability than Hudson, but Hudson's a good player. He just, for whatever reason, seems to be with a new team every year.
Rob Johnson, along with Kyle Phillips, we saw yesterday, they've taken over the catcher's duties for the Padres because of 2 different stints to the DL by Nick Hundley. Hundley went on the DL on the 8th of July, retroactive to the 6th because of an elbow strain. Johnson has 2 hits today.
Just another pitch up in the strike zone and too much at home plate. And Lee's having one of those days they don't have once in a while, that his location, he just can't get it.
He does, however, have a chance to get out of this inning without any damage.
Right.
Harang is up.
Exactly. You know, they've managed to turn their order over again, which they're happy about. But he should be able to get out of this inning.
Harang struck out looking his first time up. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
He is a little late. Does have a lifetime homer. Wonder who hit his bat.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, but somebody had to hit his bat.
There's a strike. 0-2. Figure at 6'7", 260 pounds. He gets a fastball and hits it the right way. He can even hit it out over the fence in right field. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes for the second time today. 4 strikeouts for Cliff Lee. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd with the Padres up by 3. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. By Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And by Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. A little Christmas in July music. Mentioned earlier, this is what it must feel like to have Christmas in Hawaii on the 25th of December. It's
clear water.
Mid-80s. Yeah.
With the humidity.
The Phillies ball girls had a toy drive today, which we understand was a rousing success. They took there were folks that contributed toys at the gates prior to the start of the ball game, and the Phillies ball girls, who just do such great work in the community, helping the Phillies charities so much during the course of the year, will present those gifts to a couple of local groups. So thanks to everybody who brought out the toys today as they came to the ballpark. Cliff Lee will lead it off here at the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, Sarge and Larry were in the office playing with some of them before the game.
Shoots and ladders. As Lee flips it foul.
They were a little befuddled by some of them, but they were working through it.
Lee hitting .209 with a home run and 6 runs batted in. And he's down to the count. No balls and 2 strikes. always figured that Aaron Harang, if he got to a ballpark that would favor a fly ball pitcher, particularly his last couple of years at Cincinnati, that he would have some good numbers. And he gets a strikeout of Lee. Now, Petco Park has helped him. His earned run average isn't great there, but he's now getting the ball down like he did early on in his career with the Reds.
Yeah, it's 2.92 at home, but over 4 on the road.
Right.
So a big difference in that big ballpark. Well, and he's changing speeds a lot better than we remember with curveballs, especially.
Rollins popped to third his first time. Takes outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
And they kind of ran themselves out of that first inning. Did the Phillies. You don't know what could have happened there.
There are the splits. 2.92 is wheel set at Petco. 4.01 on the road. His numbers at home in Cincinnati were elevated the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
In a hitter-friendly ballpark. But
yeah.
Now at Petco, it's been good.
You know, he tried to keep the ball down in Cincinnati, but evidently wasn't able to do it. Plus, he was hurt there several times.
Three balls and 2 strikes the count to Rollins. Inside, ball 4. Second walk issued by Harang. So a base runner for Michael Martinez. Seniors 55 and over. Here's your chance to relive a little history at a unique Phillies alumni luncheon on Thursday, August 11th from 11:30 till 2:30 at the ballpark. Stories from Jim Bunning, Tommy Green, Rick Wise, and Tony Taylor. Lunch at the Diamond Club, plus you get a tour of the ballpark. You also get photos with the World Series trophies. Call 215-463-1000. Tickets are moving quickly. As Martinez takes low and in, 1 ball, no strikes. That's a pretty neat thing to have those guys come into town and relive some of Phillies history. Tony Taylor, Jim Bunning.
Tony Taylor played in Jim Bunning's perfect game at Shea Stadium. Made a great play on Jesse Gonder on a ground ball in the hole. Looked like it was going to be a hit. I think Gonder was a left-handed hitting catcher for the Mets. That sound right?
Boy, that's
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Outside, 2-1. Well, you think about that, Jim Bunning, perfect game. Tommy Green threw a no-hitter.
Right.
You talk about the differences between the two.
Different eras there. Jim Bunning with a no-hitter in both leagues and a no-hitter with the Tigers. Perfect game with the Phillies.
Ground ball foul, and it's 2-2 to Martinez, who flied to left his first time up.
Fans going to talk to Tony Taylor about base running too if they want to, because he's one of the best base runners. First to third, as good as anybody.
On the hands, a looper to center, playable for DeNorfia. 2 outs. And Rollins goes back to first. Two away. Here's Chase Utley. Utley walked and scored the only run for the Phillies. That was in the first. He scored on the double by Victorino. Utley thought Rollins was going, so he was trying to shield the catcher, Rob Johnson. And he takes that pitch for a strike. It's 0-1.
Someone must have yelled he's going, because it really got Utley's attention, because when you're a left-handed hitter, you don't really see the guy.
There he goes. And a line drive base hit to right center field. Rollins on his way over to third. Ludwig will cut it off, and the Phillies have first and third with 2 outs. And again, Utley continues to drive the ball. He has now reached base safely in 27 consecutive games.
As you said, Tom, a breaking ball, and he really waited well on it. That ball looked like it had a chance to get in the alley a little more than that, and Jimmy would have scored because he was running on the pole. No, that was a fastball. I'm sorry, and he hits it hard and cut off nicely there by Ludwig. See, Rollins is running now. He picks the ball up, but they don't have any chance to score him, especially down by 3 runs.
And Rollins pulls it to third, safe and secure with New York Life.
There you go with 2 outs again. They've been pretty good with this the last couple games, and they can do it again.
Rollins with a big lead off third. The reason for that is the third baseman Headley is shaded over toward the hole at short, with Howard up, and the Padres with 3 infielders in the right side. Howard has 4 hits the opposite way in this series, including 1 today. There goes up. Pitch taken on the outside corner. Wow.
Man.
11th stolen base for Utley.
That was a backdoor breaking ball that's still in the yard. that did not get the plate.
Changes the complexion of the at bat because instead of 2-0,
sure,
it was 1-1. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
There's Ryan with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Boy, a base hit now. All of a sudden, you get a nice tight game.
Johnson keeps it in front, 2-2.
They do the 3-man overshift on the right side. He stays off this breaking ball. It means he's seeing the ball a lot better in the last few days because, you know, when he's struggling, he'll chase those.
Well, that breaking ball, he hooks foul. It was a slider from Harang, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. See where Guzman's playing. A few steps from the line with that overshift. A floater toward left center. It'll hang up there for Denorfia, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left in scoring position. We are through 3 here in South Philadelphia. The Padres lead the Phillies 4-1. Post-it notes with adhesive that really sticks. Who but WB Mason. Top of the 4th, Phillies trail at 4-1. Padres with 4 runs on 8 hits. They also have a steal of home. It was their first steal of home since 2005 when Mark Sweeney did it against the Astros, and their first straight steal of home since 1999. And a ground ball by Denorfia toward the hole. Rollins, tough hop play, and he pulls Howard off the bag. And that'll be a base hit for Denorfia. He's 2 for 3.
Yeah, that was actually a set play. You could actually tell as soon as he was going up and throwing that ball to first base, he was taking off and running home. Now, we've done that play before where you draw the throw to first base, and that runner at third base heads up. He's going to be running the majority of the time.
Oh, and if you're Ruiz, you got to be on your toes now because Denorfia is aboard to lead off this inning. He already has stolen 2 bases today.
Oh, he looks like he wants to run.
Ooh, Lee fired it over to first. Usually he just flips it over.
Now watch the play. As soon as he kicks up his leg, you see there, he was automatically going. That's a set play that comes from the dugout.
That's scouting to know that Lee doesn't always put a lot on the throw over to first.
Lobs the ball over a lot. Anytime a ball goes over to Ryan Howard, they were telling the runner to just keep going. You know, they'll take their chances a lot just on the throw alone, going into home or going into second.
See, Lee is totally different now. He's firing it over to first.
Yeah, a little more deliberate, getting it to Ryan Howard a little quicker. Nothing anybody could do on that. That was just a good play, I think, by the Padres and being able to pull that off.
There's a strike on a cutter, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to Bartlett. Bartlett did not play yesterday as Alberto Gonzalez got the start at shortstop, but he's been one of the Padres' hottest hitters. He and Chase Headley, who's on deck. It was Jason Bartlett who was a shortstop for the Tampa Bay Rays during the 2008 World Series while playing shortstop, and Jason Worth was on second. Said to Jason, "How do you play here?" As he takes inside, 1-2, and Jason said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "How do you play here? Yeah, the fans are right on you. I mean, from word go, they're on you." And although I'm paraphrasing, Jason basically said that's what's great about playing in Philadelphia.
Yeah. The opposition, though, doesn't like it in the bullpen because a lot of the fans are hooting on them as they're warming up, telling them that they can't throw a strike. Just all over. You got to have thick skin.
Ground ball right side. Howard picks it up on the short hop, doesn't go to second, and applies the tag for the first out. 1 away. Tonight at 5, join Michael Barkan and his guests. They talk about the Phils as the trade deadline approaches, as well as what players might interest the Eagles when NFL free agency begins. Watch AT&T Presents Daily News Live later on at 5, only on Comcast Sportsnet. I'm sure they'll also talk about the labor deal, which the NFL and its players have reached, as the players have voted unanimously to approve the new 10-year contract with the National Football League. They have some clauses in it where they can readdress some issues after 7 and 8 years. As Headley takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, good for them. Good for the fans that are football fans. They'll be able to look at their sport.
Next up is the NBA.
Wow.
Just like when the Flyers made all their moves about a month or so ago, that's what you're going to start seeing in the NFL the next couple of days.
Yeah.
There's going to be free agent signings. There are going to be trades. I mean, there are going to be a lot of guys, I think anyway, it seems, a lot of guys moving from team to team. But there probably will be some players who are looking forward to free agency that may just stay with their current teams because they don't want to learn a whole new system in a very short period of time. Two and 1 the count to Headley. Trades in the NFL can begin tomorrow, and I believe free agency can begin as early as Friday.
Now those top guys that at every position, those are the ones that are licking their chops. Whether or not it's a cornerback, whether or not running back, top players are be sought after with a lot of different clubs.
Line drive towards center field. That's in for a base hit. Victorino gets to it quickly. Bartlett is stopped at third. The throw goes over the head of the cutoff man. Ruiz throws back to second, and it's dropped by Rollins. Boy, the Padres are really running the bases well today. It'll be a single for Headley. He's 3 for 3, and he goes to second on the throw.
Yeah, pretty good throw by Victorino. However, you want those balls where any of the fielders are able to cut the ball. That prevents the runner from getting into the next base. If you throw it over his head, he has no chance, and the runners they're just going to keep on going. Now he comes in good fashion, double clutches, but overthrows Ryan Howard. Good throw for home, but to get Headley going to second, not able to get him.
So Headley with his 6th 3-hit game of the year. And now Ludwig was up, and the Phillies will play the infield in. And he swings at the first pitch, hits it to center field. Tagging from third is DeNorfia. Victorino makes the catch. His throw goes toward third. It'll be a sac fly for Ludwig, and it's 5-1 San Diego. So now a 4-run deficit for the Phillies to deal with. I'll tell you what, Sarge, the Padres look like a totally different team.
Yeah, very aggressive, and Cliff Lee catching a lot of the plate. You can tell that by how many balls have been centered by the Padres. They've hit some pretty hard line drives today.
Blanks is 0 for 2. At a breaking ball, and he's getting a thick diet of them. It's 0-1.
And well, he should, until he proves that he can hit that pitch. Should get a lot of breaking balls. If he gets the fastball, you'll throw that off the plate, out of the zone.
Cutter, and it's 0-2. .80 pitches at this point for Lee. The 0-2 outside, 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Ruiz will throw to first to finish off the strikeout. The inning comes to a close, but the Padres score another run. They do so on a sac fly by Ryan Ludwig. We go to the bottom of the 4th. San Diego leads it 5-1. by WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices? And by McDonald's. Loving it. A little Christmas in July as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Padres lead at 5-1. Still plenty of time for the Phillies to get back in this ball game. It'll be Victorino, Ibanez, and Dominic Brown against Aaron Harang. Victorino doubled home the only run for the Phillies. His only time up. Takes on the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Breaking ball hit towards center. Denorfia's been busy, and he's made the last 3 outs for the Padres. 1 away here in the fourth. That'll bring Ibanez to the plate. Sarge, you talked to Ibanez yesterday after the game, and I know that when you do those interviews, you have a few words with them before you go on. What did he say about the play by Denorfia at center?
Oh, he wasn't liking that. I mean, he thought it was a good play, but you know, when you're not getting a lot of hits, you want those hits. And at that time, for a home run, it would have been his 3rd hit. Trust me, he wasn't very happy about that at all. Made a good play, however.
I thought the reaction from the crowd, and folks all around the country have talked about that. The reaction from the crowd after Denorfia made the play was pretty impressive. I think it showed the knowledge that the Philly fans have and just the respect for a good play across the board.
Yeah, they get it here. Fans get it here in terms of a good play. They're very, very knowledgeable fans, especially here at the stadium when they're going here, and they like good plays.
Off the end of the bat, that's going to flare into left for a base hit for Ibanez. He might think about 2. He is thinking about 2. And a bad throw by Kyle Blanks, and Ibanez slides in safely, his 20th double of the year.
Well, that's a big play right there. It seems pretty simple, but he ended up getting that double from home plate. That's where it actually starts. He's going hard the whole way. Good piece of hitting as he hits that ball in the left field. Breaking ball as he's hustling in there. Little pop-up slide there.
And Ibanez is safe at second. Safe and secure with New York Life. It's 10 straight years now for Ibanez with 20 doubles or more. He had 37 last year. And the Phillies have a chance to get a run back with 1 out here in the fourth.
Yeah, just want to start to chip away a little bit. A run here, there. Got to be patient with Harang. He's the type of pitcher that does not mind pitching behind you. Likes to get the hitters very anxious at the plate. Doesn't overpower you with his fastball. Kind of appeared there that he's looking off speed. Usually he won't take any of those pitches fastball. Dominic doesn't.
Well, he got an off speed pitch toward right center field. Coming on is Denorfia and Ludwig, and they can't get it. Ibanez will score. Brown's on his way to third. The throw toward third, not in time, and the Phils get a run here in the bottom of the fourth. Going to wind up being a triple, I think, for Dominic Brown. Denorfia, I think, is nicked up on that. He and Ludwig collided as they went to the ground. It'll be an RBI for Brown, his 17th of the year.
Yeah, it's one of those plays very difficult for any one player to actually call for that ball. You can see how they kind of got there just about the same time. Now look at Denorfia's his glove hand as it comes in, and oh my gosh, it gets turned a little bit there.
Not only that, but he elbowed Ludwig, who was also kind of slow to get up.
You can see how he's trying to avoid each other, but it's just a little bit too late, especially once you leave your feet. Now look how he kind of rolls a little bit in order to take the brunt out of that roll there, out of really going on top of Ludwig there. Good thing maybe, because he was able to get a little bit higher on that roll.
Yeah, now they're looking at Ludwig, because as we said, he got elbowed by Denorfia, so I think they've already looked at Denorfia. Now they're going back to him. They're going to need another athletic trainer to come out there in a second. Now Cameron Mabin's already banged up. He's got a hip flexor. Orlando Hudson's fixing the grass out there while they talk to the two players. And Brown has his first career triple.
Take a look at it again, and you can see really
right there. That's where the wrist bends, and then he elbows Ludwig in the head. And Ludwig also got his spike caught on the turf at that spot.
Tried to shy away from it some. See, that ball's out in no man's land. Dominic able to get all the way around to third base.
Well, it looks like both players are going to stay in the ball game. Ludwig is stretching his neck out a little. So the Phillies get a run back here in the bottom of the fourth, and now they have a chance to get a little bit more. And how about this? They have Ben Francisco out of the on-deck circle to hit for Cliff Lee.
Yeah, well, Cliff has a lot of pitches that he's thrown, and a lot of energy he's had so far, not really hitting the spots the way he would like. Talked about that before. Charlie goes on a lot how that pitcher's throwing, and whether or not he's laboring or not.
Andrew Carpenter, the long man, is loosening up in the pen. So here's Ruiz with one out. Carlos takes inside 1-0.
This is big right here to be able to pick up this run. Runner on third base, less than 2 outs.
Line drive, base hit it to center field. Brown will score. It's an RBI for Ruiz. He's hit in 11 consecutive games, and the Phillies are within 2.
That's solid. Clutch hitting coming up, getting that base hit. Runner at third base. That's how you get back into the game.
So Dominic Brown, after the triple, scores on the base hit by Ruiz. Darren Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, going out to the mound.
Foot down as he drives the ball right up the middle. Even if it's a ground ball, when you're hitting him up the middle, you're going to get it as Dominic comes right to your pitcher.
Charlie talking to Cliff Lee. I don't think any starting pitcher ever wants to be lifted this early in the game. You always feel like there's a chance that you can figure something out and get into the groove that you anticipated at the start of the ball game.
Yeah, I'm sure what he's thinking, that maybe he'd be in this bunt situation and be able to bunt the ball over and have J-Roll come back in. Maybe he feels he's kind of found himself.
82 pitches for Lee. And Francisco hitting .224 overall. He has 6 hits as a pinch hitter. Outside corner, and it's a strike. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that's not a real happy face right there. And again, he is one of the better competitors, not just on this team, but in the league.
Into foul territory. Headley over toward the railing. Runs out of room.
And on the other hand, Charlie's looking for another opportunity to try and get a little bit closer.
Toward the hole, cut off by Bartlett. There's one. There's two. 6-4-3 double play And the side is retired. The Phillies do get a couple back. An RBI triple by Dominic Brown, an RBI single by Ruiz. We go to the 5th, and Andrew Carpenter will take over for Cliff Lee. The Phillies. He'll take over for Cliff Lee here at the top of the 5th. And joining us now is the Phillies first base coach, Sam Perlazzo, who's had a front row seat to what's gone on these first 4 innings. Sam, we're always surprised when, let's say, Roy Halladay or Cliff Lee, they don't go deep into ball games, but it happens. I mean, from time to time, the starters aren't going to go that deep, and you're going to have to rely on the bullpen a little bit.
Absolutely. We all know how good Cliff is and how good Roy is, but
whoa.
That was close.
That was close.
But it happens. They got 35, 36 starts a year, and they're gonna not pitch a couple of those games. And now it's time for us to bail them out a little bit. They've done it quite a bit, so we're going to try to do that for them today.
Sam, talk about that double steal there, or I should say that steal of home place base there when Cliff Lee actually went to first base. I thought that was a play where they talk about it and they can put that on with that throw going over to first.
I think so. Sarge, their guy at third was getting a pretty darn good lead. And so he was almost halfway down the line before the play even started. So once Cliff gave him a little, just throw over to first, it was just like a gimme. He timed it perfectly, and he almost didn't have a chance at it.
Jesus Guzman's leading it off here at the top of the 5th against Andrew Carpenter, and a swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Sam, we've been talking a lot about the offense during this month. From your vantage point, how good has it looked watching the offense kind of come to life here in July?
Obviously much better than we did early in the season. And it's been something where I think everybody's chipped in. I think that's the big thing. We get some Michael Martinez, and John Mayberry comes in and gives us some good starts. And, some of the other guys that are in there all the time start swinging the bat a little bit. And I think that's how you win through the course of a long season. Everyone has to contribute. That's why they're on the team.
Well, you talked about Michael Martinez, and obviously you've worked with him at a variety of different positions along the infield, and he has filled in nicely, whether it be playing a little short, playing a lot of second base, or now playing some third base.
Well, he has. He's done a tremendous job. I saw early in the spring what kind of hands the kid had, and it's just a matter of corralling him and getting him settled down, just make the play. And he's taken to it pretty well. He enjoys being out there. I think you can see that, and I think he wants to be out there a little more. So he's done a great job, and we've got a good player in that kid.
How much is playing every day the last week or two? How much has that helped him, you think?
Obviously a lot. It's hard, especially sitting on the bench for 10 days at a time, or even a week, and coming up and getting an AB or a start. It's hard to get some rhythm and timing, and this has helped him a lot. And actually, all our bench players, whenever they get to play a little bit, then when you need them, they can contribute, and I think that's what's happened here.
A little unfair then to judge him offensively because he doesn't have a lot of at-bats, but he seems to have a pretty good eye at the plate there. And when he gets a hold of it, he can hit the ball a long ways.
He is. If he stays within himself, does what he is capable of doing, I think he's going to be okay. You got to realize that this is his first time in the major leagues, and he's on a first-place team with a lot of expectations. And I think he's doing a great job of handling all that right now.
One away as Ryan Howard takes care of Jesus Guzman. Orlando Hudson is due up now for the Padres here in the top of the 5th. Sam, also, I know Placido Polanco took some ground balls again today. Did you get a chance to see how he looked?
Yeah, I hit him the ground balls the last 2 days, actually, and talked to him a little bit. He says he's going to go out on rehab, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, and then be ready for us on Saturday if all goes well. So he seemed to be okay. He was in good spirits and didn't complain about anything, so it'd be nice to get him back.
Well, that's great. The team's had so many injuries they've had to deal with, and you talked about guys filling in. But it is going to be nice to get everybody back and everybody healthy for, including Roy Oswald, who's going to rehab this week. But it's going to be great to get everybody back again.
Well, you know what? I think I don't think we get enough credit for all the injuries that we worked through over the past years that I've been here. And, we've had some major guys go down for long periods of time, and our guys have come in and picked up the slack tremendously. And I don't think we get enough credit for those guys coming in and keeping this thing together and really doing good. And it's been really great for me watching that. These guys just have an aura about them that they're just going to win no matter what. You know what?
That's a real good point. Last year, Wilson Valdez, as we take a look at him, he was very instrumental in filling in well offensively.
He did. He did a tremendous job. He played second for us when Chase was out. He played short when Jimmy was out. Got us some real key hits offensively. So, our guys have done a pretty good job, especially with some of the pitching that's gone down and the other guys coming in to fill out. So I think the club's done a really good job over the last couple of years that I've been here to keep this thing together. And sometimes I don't think we get that kind of credit.
64 wins so far, Sam, and 6-game lead in the division. As coaches, what has stood out as really the brightest spot for the team this year? Is it the way guys have filled in?
I think there's a couple of things. Our starting pitching has been tremendous, especially when, we weren't hitting early. I think that's been a big plus. Our defense has always been good. I don't think we give extra outs very often. We've led the league in defense almost the whole year. And those, pitching and defense will keep you in some ball games. And then just the attitude of this ball club. They have a tough loss. They can forget it as fast as anybody I've ever seen and go out and win the next 3 or 4 days in a row. And I've been on clubs where if you lost a tough game, you might lose 6 or 7 in a row. It doesn't happen around here.
You know what, Sam? You're absolutely right about that. This team is uncanny for not putting the blame on any one individual. And I think when you're doing it that way, it's easy to win because over the course of 162, everybody's going to get their chance for an error here or there. But these guys, they don't get on each other on their deficiencies, whether or not Ryan Howard can throw the ball over to second base there or anyone, Dominic dropping the ball or misjudging it. They win and lose as a team.
They sure do. And, things just happen around here that where the guys just keep contributing. They don't feel sorry about themselves. I'll tell you, we don't feel sorry about ourselves. Somebody gets hurt. We just keep on trucking, and hopefully the guys come in there, do the job for us, and we've been fortunate that they have done that.
Sam, do you think that's an organization thing? You think that's a player thing? You think that's the way the clubhouse is, or do you think that's the way Charlie has the clubhouse structured?
I think a lot of it goes to Charlie. Really, he's the guy that sits there, doesn't panic a bit. He expects the guys to go in there to play well. And I think that feeds off of that, and I think the players, it rubs off on the players, and we have good leaders in that clubhouse that don't let everyone, get down and feel sorry for themselves, and they kind of just keep pushing each other, and it works out around here. It's amazing.
Well, Sam, we appreciate it, and we'll look forward to catching up with you again as the season rolls on.
Anytime, guys. Thanks.
All right, Sam Perlazzo, the Phillies' first base coach, joining us here in the 5th is Aaron Harang, who's the batter with 2 outs, and the count no balls and 1 strike. Orlando Hudson's at second. He doubled with 1 out against Andrew Carpenter, who's on in relief of Cliff Lee, who went the first 4 and allowed 5 runs on 10 hits. Harang has struck out twice today, so he's 0 for 2. And a chopper over the mound. Utley has plenty of time. And The side is retired. So 4-3 on the putout, no runs. One hit, one man left in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the fifth, and Jimmy Rollins at the top of the order is due to lead it off. Fightin' Phil's fan club membership card, decal, and hat. A subscription to MLB.com game day audio for your PC. 10% off your entire purchase coupon for the Majestic Clubhouse store. Go to Phillies.com for more information on the Fightin' Phil's fan club. Bottom of the fifth inning, Padres lead it 5-3. Normally when Cliff Lee exits the game as a starting pitcher, he rarely leaves the dugout.
Yeah.
And it's the same even today after leaving in the top of the fifth. I doubt he'll leave. He doesn't ice, so he'll probably just sit and watch.
Yeah. A little bit irritated. Kerry Wood would do the same thing if he got hit out, stay in the dugout, root for his teammates is what he actually wanted to do. It did just that.
Jimmy Rollins leads it off. This is just a two-run game. Rollins is 0 for 1 with a walk. He takes high. It's 1-0.
Game's very manageable. Get themselves right back in the game. They can themselves a base hit. Base runners is what you need.
So Rollins took the first two pitches, so he takes a strike. It's 1-1.
Yeah, this is a pitcher that, a lot of times I'll talk about, looking for the fastball and staying on the fastball, but you can look soft off of Harang, just making sure that the ball is up in the zone. You don't want to hit the low fastball off of him, but that breaking ball or any of the off-speed pitches, you want that one up in the zone and leave it up there when you're swinging there.
Rollins lifts it to right center. DeNorfia is over it. He makes the catch, one away. A reminder that the Powerball jackpot, which is up to $111 million, goes off on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and the Mega Millions, which is at $63 million, goes off on Tuesdays and Fridays. Michael Martinez is the hitter with one out. Bunts it foul. Charlie Manuel said the other day after Martinez hit the 3-run home run and failed to bunt before the home run that it was great, obviously, but that Martinez has to work on his bunting. You agree with that?
Oh, got to be able to execute if you're going to be in that second spot. There'll be times J-Ro hit a double late in that ball game. You want him over the third, so you got to be able to do that. Being able, though, not to bunt and hit a 3-run home run, it's very difficult for the manager to talk about you, but he's right. You got to be able to execute, especially if you're a guy that's not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark consistently.
Now he may be able to bunt. We may not have seen a successful run of bunting yet for Michael Martinez.
Well, just with that little drag bunt that he tried to do a couple of times on just being able to sacrifice, I would have to say that he can't.
Okay. 3-2 pitch to him. Hit on the ground, right side, gobbled up by Guzman. And there are 2 outs. Guzman figured, well, I could beat Harang to the bag. I just have to beat Martinez to the bag, too.
Well, one of the things, too, Tom, about that bunting, you can learn how to do that. I've seen Maury Wills teach a lot of guys how to bunt and be able to feel confidence when you're doing it, and that's really the main thing.
Does it surprise you in this day and age when guys can't bunt?
No, not at all, because a big part of getting to the major leagues is hitting, not bunting. That whether or not you're playing second, short, I mean, you get noticed when you're bunting, when you're hitting that ball, line drives, that average, and scoring runs, stolen bases will get you to the major leagues.
One ball, no strikes to count Utley. Lifts it to left, over toward the line. Blanks coming in, and he makes the catch. So the Phillies go down quietly here in the 5th. They're retired in order. We've completed 5 in South Philadelphia. Phillies trail it by 2 as we go to the 6th. The best surprise of the 2011 season so far. The right-hander has been in control and in a groove since his return from the minors. Vance Worley has taken the ball for the Phillies and is running with the opportunity, hurling himself into all leading categories among rookies while delivering wins for baseball's top team. How does a rookie perform alongside an outstanding rotation like this? Just fine so far. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, Christmas in July, Santa Claus has paid a visit to the Fanatic, and this is what the Fanatic is presenting to the San Diego Padres for Christmas, a little coal.
Oh, boy.
And then comes over and dumps the coal into the on-deck circle.
I didn't think he was going to do that, but I mean, he let it all go.
What did you think he was going to do with it?
I just thought he was going to show him the bag.
We start the 6th. Well, they cleaned it up. The grounds crew came out.
Oh, boy.
Matt Morano, who's the Padres bat boy, visiting team bat boy, came out to help out too. 0-2 the count to Chris Denorfia to start the 6th. Andrew Carpenter pitched a scoreless 5th. And now trying to keep this at a 2-run game here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, very manageable, and he can do that by keeping Chris off the bases. So he's got pretty good speed.
almost got him to go fishing. No swing, says Gary Darling. 2-2. Carpenter's numbers coming into today. This does not include the scoreless fifth. A 7.11 earned run average in 4 games. And now he's behind 3-2. He at one time back in 2007 won 17 games in the Phillies system as a starter. That was with Clearwater. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on a breaking ball.
Wow. It's like around 3 or 4 in a row. He finally got it exactly where he wanted it as that ball moved away from him. Good pitch.
Oh, one away now for Jason Bartlett. Carpenter, as Philly fans know, has been in the big leagues in 08, 09, 2010, and now here in 2011. But he's never stayed that long. 1 game last year, 3 the year before, and 1 game in 2008.
Yeah, well, that really should make you even more hungry to try and do the things you need to stay up in the major leagues. Anytime you get sent down, they'll tell you what they want you to work on in order to get back up here and to be successful. Got to be able to throw strikes, and you got to be able to get an off-speed pitch over when you're behind in the count. Those are a couple of the keys that will make you successful.
0-2 the count to Bartlett. Outside, 1-2. Well, this year Carpenter settled into a relief pitcher's role instead of being a starter. Try this, Dad. Try this. Got a piece of Ruiz. Carlos getting banged around back there.
Yeah, those foul tips that get on you will hurt you, especially if you don't have it covered.
Hit toward third, scooped up by Martinez, who runs a third of the way over to first and then throws out Bartlett. Well, I guess it was less than the third, but he did run a few steps.
No, he did, and not only that, sweet hands. He made that hard play look easy as he comes in and picks it on a tricky hop. Then he does have something to throw with. Now that's an in-between hop as he comes in and just runs over. You're right, Tom, about that, and lets it go.
He took 5 steps before he threw it.
A little snow cone over there by Ryan Howard as he catches it right in the web.
Here's Headley batting left-handed for the first time today. He's 3 for 3.
This guy's a pretty good hitter. Even more difficult to hit when you have your teammates that aren't having really great years. Puts a lot more pressure on that individual that is hitting.
Another foul ball, got a piece of Ruiz. That it used to be in past years that whoever it was that was batting in the middle of the lineup for the Padres at least had Adrian Gonzalez around it.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low, ball 2, 2-2. Three and 2 to a second batter here in the 6th.
Yeah, it has a lot of deep counts. Don't want to start having those deep counts. Want those guys to put the ball in play. Almost force him to make sure that he throws a fastball here.
Well, they got him. He threw a split, and Headley's down on strikes, and the side is retired in order. 2 strikeouts for Andrew Carpenter here in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Phillies trail it 5-3. Nation's fastest mobile broadband network by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Well, we said during the Open that since 2004, when the ballpark opened, when the Phillies play a ball game on Christmas in July. Hey, buddy, how you doing? They have had some resounding success. And it began with Pat Burrell's game-winning base hit back in 2004, and it's rolled on since. Let's see if they could do it again as Ryan Howard leads off the 6th.
Well, they have a lot of momentum, having won 3 games against the Padres already.
Howard's 1 for 2 today, and he lays off and takes a strike. It's 0-1. Howard takes inside. It's 1-1. Howard was up with runners on 2nd and 3rd his last time up and flied out to center, where Will Venable is now patrolling. Denorfia, who was in center field, now is over in right field. So Ludwig is out of the game. I mentioned how Ludwig and Denorfia collided on a ball hit by Dominic Brown in the 4th. And Ludwig was kind of stretching his neck out a little bit. We thought initially it was Denorfia that got the brunt of it, but it must have been Ludwig.
Want to have good balance when you're swinging at this pitch.
Looked like he was a little late on it. It was up.
Yeah, a little bit late. And recognize, too, I mean, you can't force it against pitchers like this. Not necessarily they're going to throw you a strike. And all you're really trying to do, make solid contact, making sure that he throws a pitch that's a strike. Borderline high for me.
And then a grounder to the right side by Howard on the next pitch. And Hudson flips on one hop to Guzman, who makes a nice play. 1 away.
Wow.
So 1 out, and here comes Shane Victorino.
Gets jammed on that. Hudson cutting right in front of his teammate there and does make a fine play. Low throw always better than a high throw for me. High throw, you might have to jump. Low throw, at least you have a chance to be able to scoop.
A big thank you for Guzman for making that play. Here's Victorino, who's 1 for 2. Doubled home a run in the 1st. Fly to center his last time up. Opposite way, foul ball. Nobody moved. on Samuel. Didn't move. Headley didn't move over at third.
A lot of spin on the ball as he hits it off the end of the bat. Make sure he gets his foot down, and when he does, seems to make solid contact.
Solid contact there, but it's foul. So it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Victorino. Philly ball girls are wearing the helmets now down the right and left field line, just to enhance a little safety. Some of those baseballs are going at them pretty good. Victorino floats it down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It's a fair ball, and it gets by Blanks, who does a nice job picking it up on the bare hand, and he'll keep Victorino at second. A 1-out double, the second double of the day for Victorino.
Yeah, that's what he's doing a much better job at, is making sure that he stays kind of in on the ball and not pop those balls up. Good job of hitting.
Oh, as Victorino settles in at second, let's take a look at our Coors Light freeze can. We mentioned it's Christmas in July, and a few of the different looks up on the video board today. Not as extravagant, except for Ryan Howard, compared to Friday night when it was 80s night. Victorino looking like a little elf. There's Raul Ibanez. He'd be Papa Elf. Coors Light freeze can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And here is Ibanez, who takes a curve for a strike. Raul doubled and scored in the fourth. 1 for 2.
Outfield is back, almost as if they're playing the no doubles there. Victorino should be able to score with no problem.
There's a base hit into right field. Victorino will cruise home. He's already around third. An RBI for Ibanez, another one for him. And the Phillies have pulled to within 1.
Well, that's what you have to do. Chip away. Exactly what the fighting fields are doing. Get those base runners on, get in scoring position. That's what they're starting to do a lot more of, and that is timely hitting. You're going to need that these next few months. Take a look at it, short and quick to the ball, and reaching just a little bit as he pokes that ball right in the hole. Victorino with the outfield playing back deep. No chance, and look who's celebrating in July. All right. Oh, yeah. He's got his fighting fields again scoring. Look at him jumping up and down. Oh, boy.
As excited as he is on Christmas morning. Well, 1 out with Ibanez over at first. Darren Balsley came out to talk to Aaron Harang. That'll give the bullpen for the Padres a chance to start to get loosened. As Dominic Brown is the hitter. He's already driven in 1 today.
Yeah, he's due to catch one of these balls and hit it a long way.
Luke Gregerson is warming up. Ibanez leads off first.
Guess he thinks Ibanez is getting ready to steal a base.
What do you think?
Not going unless it's a hit and run.
He's not going. And there's a strike according to Rob Drake.
Now the other thing too about Dominic, he seems to always be hitting with a strike or 2 on him.
Into foul territory off the left field line, and Headley makes another nice running play. Boy, he's had 2 of them today. That's almost exactly the play we saw earlier with Dominic Brown in the second inning.
Yeah, well, he gets over there quick and then kind of looks up, not drifting on the ball, and when you do that, you can get underneath them. Take a look at it, and you see he's almost already planted and actually has to come back a little bit. Now here's the previous one where he goes in at the second inning. It goes up on the turf to brace himself.
It's almost the exact same play. Now Ruiz. Ruiz drove in a run his last time up. 1 for 2. John Mayberry's out on deck as Brad Lidge is loosening up in the pen for the Phillies. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Now this is when he has to cut down his swing. Okay, first couple of swings, looking maybe to try and do some damage. Now you're looking just to try and get on, keep the train moving, so to speak.
One ball and 2 strikes, the count to Ruiz. Off the end of the bat. That should be an easy play for Guzman. He's over and makes the catch to the side. Is retired. But the Phillies get one more on the RBI single by Ibanez. We've completed 6. It's on to the 7th in a 1-run game.
Well, Christmas in July, Phillies are trying to find a sweep, a 4-game sweep under the Christmas tree. They're battling back in this one, down by a run, 5-4. Good job by Andrew Carpenter to hold the fort. And the Phillies just chipping away at Aaron Harang. You see Chris Norfie's had a big game, including running the bases. Harang solid through 6. Phillies 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position, and a quick afternoon for Cliff Lee, and the debut for this season, Tom, of Brad Lidge.
Yeah, Brad Lidge with 99 career saves. This is not obviously a save situation, but for Brad Lidge, it's just a chance to dip his toe in the water and get some work, and also come into a very important part of this ball game with the Phillies down by 1. Lidge, who made 8 rehab appearances, and Rich Doobie said the other day that they wanted to get Brad in as soon as possible because he had thrown 8 rehab appearances and was in some kind of a rhythm. So here he is in game 4 of the series, and he throws a slider for the first pitch, and it's no swing by Will Venable the first time.
Yeah, it is important because it's just a 1-run game here in the 7th inning. Phillies have worked really hard to get back into this one.
Venable came on to play center field after Ludwig left an inning after colliding with Chris Denorfia in right center. So as we said, it's his first at bat.
Yeah, it looked like he got his bell rung. He might have been a little dizzy.
1-1, a slider inside. It's 2-1. Venable with 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. He's also stolen 18 bases. And a grounder toward first. Fair ball scooped up by Ryan Howard, 1 away.
All sliders so far from Brad Lidge, and gets the ground ball in the 4th pitch that he threw.
During his rehab starts or rehab assignments, there were a couple starts in there. His fastball started out at 87 and was in that neighborhood for a few of the ball games. Then it got up close to 90 or at 90. But it was the slider that, continued to be his main pitch. And he throws another one. It's in there for strike 1.
What if they're going to go to their bullpen, or the Padres, because that's their strong point. The Phillies haven't seen their 2 big guys this weekend. They have a 1-run lead, 7th inning, and the bullpen is up.
Gregerson was loosening up before.
Well, that's the way they like to go. Gregerson, and then Adams and Heath Bell, all right-handers. This slider is good. Slider really has some bite and depth to it. He's going to have to use his fastball and throw it in good spots. He's thrown 1 so far.
And it was at 89.
Yeah.
1-2 the count to Kyle Blanks, who's 0 for 3. Got a piece of it to stay alive.
When you're throwing 89, 90, 91, and Lidge obviously used to throw harder than that, he knows he has to keep it out of the middle of the plate, but he has to use that pitch.
There's the slider. Swung on it, missed. And the first strikeout of the year for Lidge. 2 outs here in the 7th.
That baby has some serious bite to it.
Sure did. Talking to Lidge the other day, he said he was extremely excited to get on a big league mound, and he could throw a slider like that.
Yeah, I mean, look at the bite that thing has. It just disappears.
Wow. Guzman's the hitter, and he spins away from a fastball at 90.
Or you can throw your fastball like that once in a while. If you want to throw that slider away.
There's the slider, grounded to third, bobbled by Martinez, still has time, recovers in his throw. Well, Howard somehow kept his foot on the bag. That was a good play by Ryan Howard, and a nice return by Brad Lidge. He's getting a very strong round of applause as he heads off, and we stretch here in the 7th. NFL fan, if you're a sports fan, it's nice to see that one of the labor situations is finally settled, and just in the nick of time. We go to the bottom of the 7th. What a great job by Brad Lidge.
Yeah, that had to really feel good for Brad Lidge to be able to throw the slider and command it the way that he did. And hear those cheers, Tom, as you mentioned when he walked off the mound. That was really a nice job by the fans to welcome him into the game and then to really reward him after he pitched that inning. And you know, we'll just see what happens with the fastball that he has, but that slider was nasty today.
Well, we said that Gregerson had been loosening up, and he was at one point, but it's Chad Qualls who started to loosen up at the top of the 7th, who's in the ball game now for the Padres. So Qualls, who got roughed up in Saturday's ball game, is on in relief of Aaron Harang. Harang was strong today through 6 innings. Phillies did score 4 on him as they chipped away after trailing at 5-1. So Qualls will face John Mayberry, who will pinch hit for Brad Lidge.
This is just where the game was on Saturday. 1-run game. Qualls came in, and the Phillies just exploded against him. And Qualls is a guy who specialized in keeping the ball in the ballpark with that sinker of his, and he wound up throwing 3 home runs in that game.
So here's Mayberry, overall hitting .243, 5 homers and 25 runs batted in. Or Isaac, as we called him on Friday night after the 1980s retro picture went up, where he looked like Isaac the bartender on the Love Boat, which he thought was really funny.
Those were really good. Very clever.
Mayberry slices one toward right center. That slices right on away from Will Venable. And he's aboard with a leadoff single here in the 7th.
Well, they had their outfield and that no doubles, don't hit it over my head, which makes sense in a 1-run game as it's getting late for them on the road. So that ball was able to dunk in there. See how deep they are? They're way, way back, and they're just trying to prevent any kind of an extra base hit here. So as a result, they'll give up the single in front.
Bud Black.
And when you play that defense like that and you're an outfielder, you better make sure it doesn't get past you, because that's why they have you so deep, so you don't take chances.
Here's Rollins with a runner at first. Mayberry does have the ability to swipe a bag from time to time.
Yeah, and in this case, they want to leave that hole open for Jimmy Rollins with nobody out and hope he can pull the ball through there, maybe even get a first and third out of it. The right fielder now, of course, is Denorfia, who is not a great thrower.
Rollins takes a strike. Mike Adams is up and throwing. The Padres have just one lefty. That's Josh Spence. And they've used him this weekend. Or I should say in this series.
That guy looks like he can throw every day, doesn't he? John Mayberry needs to just pay attention out there, not those moves over, of course, but to see where the right fielder Denorfia is on every pitch. And if the ball is pulled in the hole, to immediately recognize whether third base is an option.
Padres thought maybe the Phillies would have something cooking. So with the count 0-1, they decide to discard a pitch just to see.
I think you steal here, trying to, you're lucky enough to have a left-handed hitter up who can pull the ball. So pull it.
Grounds one back toward the middle. Hudson backs up on it. There's one. The turn to first, not in time. So Rollins beats it. 1 out here in the 7th. Well, these lucky fans are this afternoon's Citizen 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com.
Michael Martinez coming up right now. These two guys had an interesting confrontation on Saturday.
And Martinez turned what looked like a bad at-bat into a great one with a 3-run home run. Rollins digs in over at first.
You think about stealing a little bit more now? Yeah. 1 out, even though you still have the same situation, but with nobody out, you're really hoping that Jimmy could hit the ball in the hole, and unfortunately hit it right at Hudson, but did beat it.
Rollins has 20 stolen bases at least in 10 different years, including this year. 21 steals. You see base runners have taken advantage of falls.
Good job there by Michael Martinez. He threw him that sinker away, trying to get him to hook it into a double play.
Takes it again. It's 2-0.
Yeah, those are tough pitches to take for a hitter. Here's the home run he hit Saturday. This was on a breaking ball after he didn't get the bunt down. I guess he knew it was out, huh?
Right to that first row.
Well, when you hit as many as he's hit, you know when they're out.
2-0 the count. There goes Rollins. Pitch is taken for a strike to throw to second. Not in time. Oh, he got him. He must have slid off the bag. The second base umpire, Bruce Streckman, talking to Rollins.
Oh, he looked like he beat that.
He sure did. I think he may have slid past the bag a little bit.
Wow.
Charlie Manuel is debating on whether he's going to go out or not. Well, we'll see. Here's the first look. Oh, look at how he blocked the bag. Yep. He blocked the bag. It still looked like his hand was there.
In that replay, it did look like he got there anyway, but the foot was down. Foot down right there. Here comes the hand. Hand hits the foot.
He got him.
He was just barely out.
Just barely out. He got him. Yep. He didn't slide past the bag. Rollins just didn't get to the bag.
Yep. With the foot down, that was a heck of a play.
Martinez skies it to shallow left center. Venable comes in, makes the catch, and the side is retired. So no runs, one hit, nobody left. Rollins caught stealing on a fine play by Jason Bartlett, what turned out to be the right call by Bruce Streckman, the second base umpire. Answer. Wheels, name the only Padre in team history to win the National League MVP award.
Guy who was a great player and a really good guy, but unfortunately had a very tragic life and died young. Ken Caminetti.
Ken Caminetti would be correct. Back in 1996, a switch hitting third baseman who also was good for the Houston Astros during his career.
Made his major league debut, major league debut against the Phillies right after the All-Star break. Had 4 of the darndest games you've ever seen and won Player of the Week with the Astros in his first 4 games in the majors. We first saw him and went, whoa, this guy going to be a good one.
Well, log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're a winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. Michael Stutz is the new pitcher for the Phillies. This is his 36th game. 5-1 for Stutz. He got the win on Saturday. Well, Brad Lidge, after 275 days, made his first big league appearance. Pitched a scoreless 7th. Andrew Carpenter pitched 2 scoreless in relief of Cliff Lee, and now it's up to Stutz.
And Phillies really need to keep it right where it is, because the Padres have the game where they think they win. Because the 2 guys that are left out there, Adams and Bell, they normally don't give up anything. But in baseball, you can always give up something.
Yes, you can. Hudson's 2 for 3 today. He's doubled, singled, and grounded out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hudson hits one back toward the middle, not hit hard. Rollins right by the bag, throws him out. Hudson trying to buy something over there. First base umpire Gary Darlin wasn't buying. So 1 out here in the 8th. And that'll bring Rob Johnson to the plate. 2 for 3. How about the bottom of the order for the Padres? Hudson and Johnson have 4 of their 11 hits. And 2 of them extra base hits.
Yeah, they hurt Cliff Lee at the bottom of the order today, early in the game.
Johnson showing bunt. Takes it for a ball. Logan Forsythe has come out on deck for the Padres. The pinch hit for the pitcher. Slider for strike 1.
Yeah, Phillies did look promising there. They got it started with a base hit off Qualls and then the top of the order coming up. But they weren't able to do anything.
That slider kind of got away. 2-2. Padres head home after this. The Phillies welcome in the San Francisco Giants, who are probably already in town or on their way.
I thought I heard today they were going to the White House.
Oh, that's right. Today is the White House trip. In fact, yeah, it is, because there was discussion about what Brian Wilson would wear.
Oh, my. President's involved in a lot of important things right now. Imagine meeting Brian Wilson today.
Well, maybe he'll add some levity to the budget talks.
Could use it.
3-2 the count to Johnson. Slider swung on it, missed. 2 outs. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. And by Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. 2 outs. Logan Forsythe is the batter. There are storms all around the area. And that young lady holding her purse over her head, I don't think to shield the sun. I think it might be raining just a little bit. I'm just thinking that. I'm not totally sure.
I don't know. She seems to be the only one doing that.
Yeah,
right
she
now.
is.
Maybe there's some other reason. Maybe she had somebody behind her that had a spillage problem today.
2-0 the count. And Forsythe is hit by that slider, so a base runner for the Padres. And back to the top of the order for Chris Denorfia.
That was a slow breaking ball too. It was in the 70s.
Denorfia has been in the mix today. A couple of runs scored, an RBI, 2 stolen bases, including a steal of home.
He made that risky steal of third base, which at that time you went, whoa, boy, he's really fortunate to be there. Just beat it, and then did a tremendous job taking that aggressive lead down the third baseline, and then seeing the lob tossed to first by Cliff Lee and stole home.
5-4 Padres. The Phillies took a 1-0 lead after 1. The Padres scored 4 in the second, 1 more in the fourth, and then the Phillies started chipping away.
You think if he's out at third base on that play, which remember how close it was.
Close, yeah.
That's 2 runs are off the board.
Right.
Because he scored and then another scored after that in that inning. So right now you may be looking at a 4-3 Phillies lead.
There goes the runner. Pitch is taken for a strike. The throw to second by Ruiz is in time. Utley was straddling the bag. He made sure that Forsythe was not going to get to the bag before the throw. 2-4 on the put out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. And the Phillies have Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and Shane Victorino due to bat. A 5-4 ball game. Padres will now turn things over to their setup man, Mike Adams, who's 3-1 with a 1.20 earned run average. In his 4 years with the Padres, he has an ERA just under 1.8. He's been that good. Now, look at the opposition's batting average, 146. This is the play.
Excuse me, Tom. Look at right-handed hitters and left-handed hitters too. Here's the last play, and it looks like on one of the replays he beats us. But Chase did a good job of getting his knee down there. He went around the knee. The hand is on the bag. Here comes the tag. It's so close.
Well, Bud Black came out and argued with Bruce Streckman, the second base umpire, and to no avail.
And it looked like he beat them.
Well, Chase Utley leads it off here in the 8th. Utley scored a run back in the first, singled in the third.
Mike Adams is known to throw slider after slider. Both Gregerson and Adams throw almost all sliders.
He has been nothing but a relief pitcher all the way through his minor league and his major league career. He made a couple of starts back in 2004 and 2 more in 2003.
Look at that.
I mean, that's a minimum of 150 relief appearances.
This guy is such a valuable pitcher. That's why his name keeps getting tossed around in possible trade rumors.
0-1 the count, Utley. 0-2.
But when they get the game to this point, the Padres do, they feel they have a heck of a chance to win it because of this guy and Bell. And the Phillies have been able to stay away from this until this point.
Padres are among the leaders in ERA in the National League because their relief pitching leads all of National League Baseball in earned run average at 2.82. The 0-2 pitch. A slider on the outside corner. Utley's down looking, 1 away.
I figure these are all left-handed hitters coming up too with a right-handed pitcher, but it doesn't matter with Adams. Backdoor breaking ball. Utley didn't think it got there. I don't know. Where he catches it is where it across the front of home plate. It looked like it was outside.
One out now for Howard. Hitting 3 official at bats today. Slider cut on and missed. It's 0-1. They listed as a cutter, and I guess it is more like a cutter than a slider. There's not as much break that as a slider has, but there is movement.
Yeah, it's a, well, I don't. You have to see the spin, I guess, but it sure looks like a slider.
Yeah, it's a slider.
5 straight strikes, 4 breaking balls. Well, this is why it's just fortunate they've been able to have leads in these games, that you didn't get into this situation with Adams and Bell. Look what they are after 7 innings because of those 2 guys.
And a call, strike 3. Howard's now saying that was low. 2 outs.
Well, Adams just, he'll come in with a slider and then he just paints away with another one.
I think the Phillies have been particularly excited with Rob Drake's strike zone all day. Well, it wasn't too low, nope. But Howard thought it was outside.
It looks like the same spot as Utley's. It is. It's the same spot.
That looks better than Casey's, doesn't it?
I don't know. By watching the thing on the replay, it was knee high.
2 outs. Victorino's 2 for 3 today.
6 straight strikes. That's why setup men are so important. Bell will come in for the save, but look who Adams is facing in this inning. 3-4-5.
Victorino lines one toward right center field, and DeNorfia can't get it. Victorino might be able to get to third on this one. He's around second, heading to third. Hudson's throw, not in time. That's 10 triples for Victorino.
Great job by Shane to nail a ball to the gap in right center field. They're even playing really deep out there too, as we showed you last inning, but he hit it in a perfect spot, and then with his great speed, he's at third base. Got the foot down nicely there. Really good timing on that swing. Split the gap in right center. Took a short hop, stayed near the wall, and once Shane Victorino saw that, he knew he could make it to third base.
Sam Perlazzo's got to run the guard over to Victorino, the guard for his thumb. Mike Adams, even with his slider, does not have any wild pitches this year. Victorino at third for Ibanez, who's 2 for 3 today.
That's a great point, Tom, because all these sliders he's thrown, he hasn't come close to bouncing one. And you would think with a guy that has as good a slider that he has, that he would bounce him for an out once in a while and maybe get a wild pitch in there.
Phillies trailed at 5-1. Now it's 5-4 with the tying run at third here in the 8th. Oh, 2 the count to Ibanez.
Gosh, he can throw that back door at will. Hitter just quits on it right on the outside corner, according to home plate umpire.
4 straight lefties. Ibanez is the 4th to face Mike Adams, who has struck out 2. He's allowed a triple. It's 0-2 to Raul. With Victorino at third, here's the pitch. Outside, Johnson thought about throwing behind Victorino.
Fastball. Throws 93, 94 with his fastball. Second ball he's thrown in 11 pitches.
opposite way. Headley takes the big hop in time to get Ibanez, and the side is retired. So Victorino's left over at third. We've completed 8 here in Philadelphia. Denorfia will lead it off as we go to the 9th. Game. Michael Stute stays in the ball game, and he'll face the top of the order. He was facing Denorfia, and the top of the 8th came to a close when Logan Forsythe was thrown out trying to steal. And Denorfia takes a slider for strike 1. It's 0-1.
Ryan Madsen was starting to throw a little bit during that inning, but now that they didn't tie it up, they decided to stay with Stutes.
Heath Bell is throwing in the pen for the Padres. He's their closer.
Yeah, if you'd have tied that game up, then you'd have brought Madsen in, because you can use your closer as in a tie game at home. There is Bell, who doesn't blow many saves. Phillies hoping to pin one on him today. But Adams throwing that slider cutter combination that he has was tough.
One and 2 the count. Slider low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies have won 10 consecutive games over San Diego. But they'll have to continue to play from behind if they're going to make it 11 straight. Bud Black's team started this road trip out with 3 wins over the Florida Marlins, and they were scoring some runs. Phillies have quieted their offense really till today. This will be a tough play. Stutes gets to it, throws off balance in time to get Denorfia. Wow, that was a really good play by Michael Stutes. 1 away here in the 9th.
Yeah, he didn't look like he had a chance to get him when that ball was hit. Denorfia runs pretty well too. But Michael Stutes, this is a tremendous athletic play. He didn't quite get out of the box real quickly, but he had no time to do anything except it almost looks like the way he does his pickoff move. He just kind of turns and flips it.
Yeah.
That looked like a longer version of his pickoff. Moved to first, got him by a full step.
So Denorfia is retired. He's 2 for 5 today. Here's Jason Bartlett, 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. In the Phillies' bottom of the 9th, it'll be Dominic Brown, Ruiz, and then the pitcher spot.
And on the bench for the Phillies, Brian Schneider, Ross Gload, and Wilson Valdez.
Yeah, the Phillies have already used John Mayberry and Ben Francisco. Fastball, he blew it right on by him. 0-2.
When Bell comes into the game, his breaking ball, you're going to see a curveball from him as opposed to that slider cutter that Adams was using. And there he is. He's got some act.
Swing and a miss. He got him with some high heat. 2 outs.
Good. What a fastball there.
What a job by the Phillies bullpen today. In fact, Carpenter, Lidge, and Stutz have really done some great work. They've retired the side in order twice. Every time the Phillies do that, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. In fact, those are the only 1, 2, 3 innings of the day. 0-2.
Maybe one more here.
Well, he's got some good life on his fastball.
Yeah, he does. Showing he can pitch 2 innings, too.
Oh, and 2 the count to Headley. Slider grounded towards second, backhanded by Utley. And a 1-2-3 ninth inning by Michael Stutz. Well, the bullpen has done its job. The bullpen has combined for 5 scoreless innings. It's on to the bottom of the ninth, where Dominic Brown will start things off. Of this series, trying for a 4-game sweep, trying for 11 in a row over the San Diego Padres. One of the reasons why they've been so good against the Padres is they haven't really faced Heath Bell in a save situation. Bell is on to try to close out this one for the Padres. See his numbers: 2.45 ERA, 28 saves in 30 opportunities. He's got a good fastball, plus he's got a very good curveball. And ever since going on to San Diego, boy, he has really resurrected his career. All-time consecutive save leaders in baseball history. Brad Lidge with 47 is third, and Heath Bell tied with the late Rod Beck and his mentor Trevor Hoffman for 41 straights.
And how about that run Eric Gagne had with the Dodgers? Was that some show?
That was stunning.
The lights and noise when you go into Dodger Stadium and he'd come into a game. That was an amazing sight.
Once that streak ended, he was really never the same pitcher. So Dominic Brown is trying to hand the Padres just their second loss when they're leading after 7 innings. Brown is 1 for 3 with an RBI triple. That was in the 4th. Bell, a 3-time All-Star. When he was with the Mets, he could get wild, and that was part of his issue. Why the Mets never had confidence in him. Remember, we used to play the Mets all the time, and Bell would come in. It wouldn't be a sure thing.
You wonder if they have Dominic Brown up there taking till he gets a strike. Certainly has the first 2 pitches. Look at Hoffman. Wow, what a career.
Heath Bell's first year with the Padres, Hoffman was still the closer. They kind of showed him the ropes. Bell was the setup guy.
Well, this Hall of Fame stuff we've been talking about lately, you just saw one name right there that'll be in the Hall of Fame, and Trevor Hoffman.
2-0 pitch. Grounded foul, and it's 2-1.
I guess he wasn't up there to take at least 1 strike. I wonder if he was.
Last year, Bell was Major League Baseball's Relief Man of the Year.
Well, he's another guy whose name's been battered around a lot as possible trade bait for a contender.
Low ball 3. It's 3-1. Brown fouls it away. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Thrown him all fastballs so far. Just wouldn't think he'd try to drop a hook on him right now. You never know with a guy the confidence of Heath Bell, and he sure has a lot of confidence. Yep, they just put down 2.
Ball 4. Brown's aboard to start the 9th.
He did. They threw a 3-2 breaking ball, and he missed badly with it. Good at bat by Dominic Brown.
And that'll bring Ruiz to the plate.
Well, this is where you talk about do you bunt for a tie here or not. On the home, you do a lot of times where they have confidence in Ruiz getting it down. You do have a good runner, and you have, Glode coming up next, and Rollins, guys, you have confidence that could get a base hit and tie this. So you may just see a bunt here.
Didn't look like Samuel laid down any kind of signs. Charlie Manuel may have said something to Ruiz before he went up to the plate. He squares, and he bunts it up the first base line. It's a dandy. That'll get Brown into scoring position. So the tying run is at second with 1 away.
Very nice job by Carlos. Charlie, the first one to get to him there and congratulate him.
So Brown is at second, and Glode is the hitter. He'll pitch it for Stutz. Ryan Matson is starting to warm up in the pen, just in case the Phillies tie it and we go extra innings. Glode has a hit in this series as a pinch hitter, and he takes inside 1-0.
You certainly have a guy at second base. You have a chance to score in Brown.
And they've shortened up in the outfield, as you would suspect.
Right. You're not going to guard the line now. You're not going to play that don't hit it over my head, no doubles. The defense, pretty much a conservative type of defense right there. Just normal.
Grounds another one foul off the front of the Phillies dugout. It's 1-2 to Glode.
Heath Bell throwing that curveball. Unlike the cutters and sliders that Adams is throwing where he backdoors, those curveballs are coming in to Glode. That's why he's pulling them so far foul. Really made him aware of inside. You wonder if they would try to backdoor him away and freeze him now.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Globe. And he got him. Held on to by the catcher, Rob Johnson. He just threw a fastball right by him. Yeah, there are 2 outs here in the 9th. And that'll bring Jimmy Rollins to the plate.
As you said, Tom, just he wanted it up higher than it really was. Kind of more down the middle of the plate and down probably than the catcher Johnson wanted it, but Globe swings, fouls it back.
Surprising to see that. Rollins 0 for 9 against Bell, but that's how good he's been. For his career, Bell has 4 saves against the Phillies. An earned run average of 3.03. And he delivers a strike. It's 0-1.
Heck of a chance to tie the game now with a base hit. 2 outs off the crack of the bat with a fast runner.
Bell, who said at the outset of this series he understands that he's probably a commodity and there's a good chance he's going to be out of San Diego by the end of this week. In the air to right field. That's playable for Denorfia. A couple steps from the track, he puts it away, and the Padres have ended the Phillies' 10-game winning streak over San Diego as they hang on and salvage the final game of this 4-game series by a final score of 5-4. Chris Denorfia picked up a couple stolen bases, including one of home. He is our Chevrolet player of the game. He finished the day 2 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs scored to help the Padres to the victory.
WB Mason deliveries of the game. Denorfia, Tom just talking about him. Well, in the 2nd inning, he basically won the game for them. Base hit in the hole here on a 3-2 pitch, scores a run. Then he will steal third. This is the play that's so close. If he's out here, would it really change the game? But he gets a nice walking lead off third. He sees Cliff Lee lob that ball to first and then steals home. 2 extra runs wind up scoring there. And that is a difference in our ball game, and those are our WB Mason deliveries of the game.
Great job today by the Phillies bullpen, but it wasn't enough as the Padres hang on to win it 5-4. We'll be back to talk a little bit more about it right after this.